Colors of Asia is a television project about interesting and creative people from Kazakhstan, Central Asia and Azerbaijan. They all live in a global world, keep up with the times and make the most of the unique Oriental flavor and the colors of Asia in their activity. Colors of Asia is a television project about interesting and creative people from Kazakhstan, Central Asia and Azerbaijan. They all live in a global world, keep up with the times and make the most of the unique Oriental flavor and the colors of Asia in their activity. In today's episode, we are going to have a closer look at the representatives of different professions in the film industry. Nika Zholdosheva and Ruslan Akun are representatives of the new wave film directors in Kyrgyzstan. Uzbek cinema star Seydullah Moldahanov speaks on himself and his beloved work. Gali Mirzashev and Adaya Beldinov are the followers of the great animator Amen Haydarov. Hello and welcome. They say that unlike the ever-changing and dynamic Western culture, the Eastern one is known for its stability, traditional characters and firmness. Any new trend harmoniously fits into the existing system only if it does not break anything. Our program, Colors of Asia, is dedicated to the people of culture, arts and show business in Central Asia and Kazakhstan. And today's episode is about some representatives of cinematography, which is developing fast in our region. And our first story is about key people at film sets. Our correspondent Ruslan Harizov reports from Bishkek.
Salam, New York.
In his early childhood, he began writing scripts for different projects. In the beginning, it was just a hobby. Once he had got a semi-professional camera in his hand, he began to learn the basics of filming. As a result, his childhood hobby turned into a real director's activity. As for her, she was raised in the family of a well-known poetess and famous musician. Right after her birth, she was already predestined to become a part of the creative elite of Kyrgyzstan. So, our today's heroes are Ruslan Akun and Nika Zholdosheva, the two famous film directors that are so different, but for sure, they are undoubtedly among the ones Kyrgyzstan is proud of. He is called genius and innovator of Kyrgyz cinema, who managed to upgrade the level of local cinematography. However, Ruslan Akun argues that his achievements are too exaggerated. I think that there is still a long way to go to innovations. I have a very positive attitude towards Kyrgyz cinema because I am a part of it, and I see how people are trying to make it better, especially young people. Everyone makes a contribution, everyone is trying to bring something new in our industry. It has to be welcomed. During the 10 years of her work in cinematography, Nika Zholdosheva has done a lot for the development of this industry. First of all, as a director of theatrical performances and documentary films, when she is asked where she gets her inspiration for her films from, it turns out that she is inspired by the nature and the fascinating landscapes of Kyrgyzstan. I'm so in love with mountains, I adore our Joly, or summer pasture lands. In these places nature is so pure. When we live in a city we always feel a lack of fresh air. The actual life in a city makes us feel a lack of fresh air. Anyways, I get more energy from our mountains. After having a rest in the countryside, I'm full of energy and inspiration. You know, it feels like I really want to start something, to splash out what I have collected inside. Ruslan Akun has a completely different situation. At the beginning of his career as a film director, he plunged into studying the art of cinema. He was always influenced by film critics who would advocate the genre of art house. As time went on, he came up with his own style. Today Akun, as a master, speaks to his young counterparts. To produce unique items, you have to be as sincere as possible. No other way would work. He's absolutely right. I'm always pleased watching Steven Spielberg's films. I think he's one of the greatest masters. You might have lacking making your first movie successfully, but he has been successful with his other movies as well. Not every director can prove his mastership from year to year over a period of several decades. Everybody in the film industry knows that making a film is half the battle. Later on, you need to make the movie hit the big screen and to present it to the mainstream audience in the country and abroad. For such purposes, it would be great to demonstrate your movie at a film festival and get it nominated for a prestigious film award. Otherwise, why make films at all? The question is, how to become a participant of a particular film festival and earn a nomination. In this regard, no one can beat Nika Zheldosheva. Being an associate producer of many large projects and one of the organizers of large-scale awards for local movies, she does everything possible and impossible to promote the works of local directors internationally. Largely thanks to Nika, film fans from neighboring countries and beyond are familiar with the Kyrgyz cinema industry. Since 2011, I have worked as an art director of the Kyrgyzstan Country of Short Films Festival. At the same time, I promoted famous films such as Kurmanchan Datka, Father's Last Will, at the other film festivals. These films were successful at large international events. I think it is a good experience for me. I keep on organizing film festivals and film events. We are going to hold a new movie forum within the frames of World Nomad Games, which are going to take place in September on the shore of Lake Issyk. The Ecological Cinema Forum is another international event. Additionally, at the recent National Film Award, Ak Ilbirs, or Snow Leopard, which was organized by Ms. Zheldosheva, Ruslan Akun's film Seeking for a Mother was nominated for the People's Choice Award. Some said that the distribution of the film was successful and it was presented abroad, which was almost impossible before. As you can see, our heroes are completely different, but they are united by their favorite occupation and the huge desire to rekindle the forgotten glory of Kyrgyz cinema and move it several steps up to glorify the local motion pictures around the world. We will make our cinema develop if we are able to create a Central Asian film market. For this purpose, we have created a joint project to expand our audience. The movie will be shown in all large cities of Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan. Then we'll see what happens. I really want to believe that in the next 10 years everything will be much better than it is right now. Just like you, I understand that there are economic, financial and social issues, which don't give us a chance to lead our culture to a higher level. Undoubtedly, it all has an influence on our cinematography, because it also depends on finance. If you have no budget, you won't be able to make a good movie. I think if our country develops, cinema will develop as well. Our next hero is well known in Uzbekistan and beyond. He can often be seen in the making of different films, TV series that are shot in the neighboring countries, especially in Russia. For instance, here in Kazakhstan, movie lovers consider him as a film actor, but they're so wrong. He is a film and theater actor. And now we're going to find out why the honored artist of Uzbekistan, Seydullah Moldahanov, has chosen this very profession and why he loves it so much. I had a dream to become an actor when I was a child. I guess I was about 8 or 9 years old when we had a TV set for the first time and I watched movies on it. And I wanted to do all the things I saw on the screen. My dream finally came true. At the beginning, I had some unsuccessful attempts to enter some Uzbek or Russian acting schools, but I finally managed to enter the Russian State University of Cinematography.
Позже, конечно, я стал понимать, что существует театр. Он у нас существует с 1976 года. В 1986
Then I realized that there was also theater. Our theater was established in 1976. In 1986, I became a part of the troupe of our theater, where I have been working to date. Currently, I'm also teaching. I teach a specific subject, flexibility. I give master classes in the acting universities of Russia, Kazakhstan and the USA.
К выпуску готовится спектакль, называется «Инклюзивный театр». Это сейчас интересное направление.
It is a very exciting period now. We are going to release a performance called Inclusive Theater. It is very interesting. Many of the theaters across the world do the same. It means that the troupe of professional actors, students and those who are now called people with special requirements, they all come together. It is a very interesting process for us, as well as for those people. We are waiting for the premiere of this performance soon.
Также продолжаю сниматься в кино, в наших узбекских проектах. в российских проектах. Занимаюсь тем, чем мечтал заниматься с детства.
I keep on working as an actor in Uzbek and Russian projects. I now do the things which I was dreaming about in my childhood. But anyway, I have a hard work. I'm certainly happy with what I'm doing, but my family is struggling, being short for my attention. I spend most of my time at work. We work 24 hours a day, and we always travel back and forth. But thanks to the modern technologies, we can keep in touch. However, I always want to be with my family in person.
С нашим театром мы объездили, наверное, буквально полмира. Это очень большой плюс для нашей работы. А театр — это все-таки компактная такая структура.
I love my job for the opportunity to travel. People say, theater is a home, a cinema and a journey. But I think this is not really so, as we have traveled a lot with our theater. It is a big advantage of our job. Theater is a little community, where we cooperate with some people for a long period of time. Cinema is a united team of people, who you work with just while making a film. The main difference between cinema and theater is that cinema is a temporary team, while theater is your permanent community that you should cherish.
До сих пор не знаю ответа. Нет такого комфортнее там или здесь. Мне и в театре, и в кино.
When people ask me where I feel more comfortable, in cinema or theater, honestly, I have no answer for this question, because I like both.
Что там будет впереди?
They say that the best role is ahead. That's why I'm waiting for some new projects and roles which I might have in the future. The main thing is to keep your job. You have to work hard. Our profession should be sincerely loved, otherwise it won't work. Do not look for the material benefits, welfare or popularity. The main thing is to work hard and be devoted to what you do.
Это все не то. Главное — работать, быть преданным своей профессии.
The animation art of Kazakhstan first appeared in 1969. During Soviet times, there were about 100 cartoons that were shot in our country and which became a part of Golden Fund. Amen Haydarov is a great animator, film director, teacher and the old-timer of original Kazakhstan cinema. Thanks to him, there are several generations of high-class experts helping local animation make big progress. Today we are going to show you the famous followers of the master. Aday Abeldinov is an animation director. It is safe to call him one of the brightest representatives of the so-called new wave animators of Kazakhstan. He can definitely be proud of his numerous works. Despite his young age, today he heads the Animation Cinema Creative Association at the Kazakh Film Studios. I studied to become an animation director in the Zhurgenov Academy of Arts. Since 2010 or even 2009 and up until this day, I have shot about 5 short animated films. I'm also a director of full-length animated movie called Kultigin. It means that I'm an animation artist and an animation director, as well as an ordinary director and screenwriter, doing all the hard work. Sometimes we make soundtracks for animated films, crowd scenes and write scripts. We think up and draw characters. In other words, we cover all range of services and all types of work in animated cinema. It is not a secret that modern animation has outgrown the status of children's traditional genre. Nowadays it has a different goal and scale. In some ways the genre of present-day animation has a significant social status. It also attracts a special attention in Kazakhstan. Over the past years, more and more Kazakhstan-made animated film products have appeared in the country. Such a situation gives local filmmakers all reasons to believe that they will be competitive with the world's top animation movies. Today, Kazakhstan's animation production is booming after its rebirth. This can be evidenced by the release of 2 full-length animated films named Kultigen and Muzbalak, both produced at the Kazakh Film Studios with the support of the Ministry of Culture of Kazakhstan. They are 2 full-length animated films lasting 1 hour each. I think we will attract in a good audience. Now we are in the corridor of our animation association. Here, hanging on the walls, is an exposition of our animated films. By the way, I must mention that in 2017 we held semi-centennial celebrations of Kazakh animation. This exposition shows shots from all animated films that were created in those 50 years, both modern and old. Here we can see a modern film by Ramil Usmanov, which was made using 3D technology. Also, we can see some works by Amen Haydarov. Here in this photo we can see Amen Haydarov himself. The Muzbalak animated film, which I have already mentioned, was made in this room, and it is hitting the big screen soon. Now I would like to invite you into this office and introduce you to the directors of this film. Here they are. This is Jibek Maidan and Tlek Teleokazi. Right now they are putting the finishing touches to this animated film Muzbalak. They are finishing the video editing of final scenes, working with the sound, soundtrack and trailers. In this auditorium, you can see people sitting in front of computers. They are responsible for certain parts of the working process. Some of them are dealing with animation, some are drawing characters, while others are editing pictures. Gali Mirzashev is an old-timer of Kazakhstan's cartoon animation. He is an artist and often arranges his own art exhibitions. However, animation is something special for him. His works such as Baikonur, Kokserek and Attila have been admired by the audience. Gali admits that his inner rush and desire for creating more in his professional sphere let him make connections outside Kazakhstan. It all began back in 2013, when he took part in an international festival in the Russian city of Suzdal. During a press conference for foreign participants, I announced the following. China is initiating an international project, which is financed by the Chinese. Everything we need to do is promote our content, our talent, and also initiate different international and significant projects. I started sending correspondence, collecting materials, information and doing research about the Silk Road. As a result, since 2013, I have been working on 6 different projects, including Attila and the Silk Road. It is all about Kazakh history. For instance, the first ever caravan of nomads. A baby girl comes into the world. She is given the name Jibek. We are carrying silk, so let's give her the name Jibek, which is Kazakh for silk. In conditions of the intestine war, Jibek's life is under threat. A Chinese dragon sneaks into the human society and saves her life. Our people ask me questions, why I work in China and why Chinese materials are about nomads. I answer them that this is about their market competition. They arrange the tender where the best one gets his performance staged. In this case, Arispek Nuhan is an ethnic Kazakh who graduated from a Beijing academy. The theme is universal. They could be fixed on nomads, but we are bringing the topic up as a pain of mankind.
放弃吧，卡战败。啊！怎么又是你？没有人能成为大地之主。
My dream came true when the French company Orbis Media signed an agreement with me last year. I delegated them my copyrights. It gives them an opportunity to attract investors. Animation genre unites representatives of different professions. Nowadays, we definitely have grounds to believe that all these professions will be more wanted, popular and prestigious in Kazakhstan. In this edition of Colors of Asia, we have been showing you some representatives of Central Asia and Kazakhstani cinema. In the next episodes you will see other famous stars of our country. These people live in a global world. At the same time, they decorate everything with creativity, unique charm and the peculiar colors of the Orient. So, I'm not telling you goodbye, I'm saying see you next time.